Hello, I'll be presenting my group's research project for SI 552, where we examine the accessibility barriers faced by older adults in voice assistant technologies. I'm a white man with dark hair and a beard. Our slides have a white background with black text. As voice assistants like Alexa and Siri become more common, they offer new possibilities for supporting older adults, particularly those with speech, cognitive, or mobility challenges. Yet these technologies are often designed for younger, able bodied, tech savvy users, reinforcing assumptions that exclude aging populations who could benefit the most. While aging is not an illness or disability, it is closely associated with an increased likelihood of acquiring disabilities over time. We identified three themes: hearing and speech, cognitive, and mobility. Across the literature, one recurring barrier is the mismatch between how voice assistants are designed and the diversity of older adult speech and hearing needs. Most systems struggle to recognize slower articulations, hesitations, or varied speech patterns, common among aging users. Since these systems are rarely calibrated for this type of speech, older adults often face repeated misunderstandings, leading to frustration and disengagement. Cognitively, many older adults find it difficult to remember exact words or commands, especially when switching between apps or features. The lack of flexibility in how voice assistants interpret natural language creates friction, particularly for users with memory challenges. This reflects a deeper issue. These systems expect users to adapt to them rather than adjusting to users' needs. For older adults with mobility impairments or reduced dexterity, voice assistants offer a promising alternative to touch based technology. Physical interaction with devices can be challenging for individuals with conditions like arthritis or tremors. Voice interfaces provide hands free access and are often described as more natural and less overwhelming than traditional tech. However, real world barriers like unreliable Wi Fi, lack of staff support, and poorly maintained devices often limit their usefulness. When systems fail to account for users' physical environments and routines, even inaccessible technology becomes inaccessible in practice. Based on our literature review, we identified the following four research gaps. One, VAs often require exact phrasing and struggle to recognize varied speech patterns. Combined with poor error recovery and limited feedback, this creates confusion and reduces usability, especially for users with diverse accents or memory challenges. Two, most voice assistants are designed with static interaction models and fail to adapt to users' evolving sensory, cognitive, or mobility needs. Without the ability to grow alongside users, these systems become less accessible and supportive as people age. Three, most research focuses on initial use, not long term engagement. Little is known about how trust and habits evolve over time or how systems can adapt to users' changing needs. Four, older adults rarely participate in the design process, so existing features often don't reflect the real world needs. Without inclusive and co designed input, VAs risk reinforcing exclusion instead of promoting accessibility. To tackle the limited use of participatory and adaptive design in current voice assistant development, this study will explore how VAs can address those gaps. The research will begin with a 3-month longitudinal interview series involving a diverse group of older adults. The research participants will be of various ages ranging from their 60s to 80s, different race and national backgrounds, and technological backgrounds. This diversity will allow for a less homogeneous perspective. For example, an adult with very high technology use will have a different experience than an adult with a low level of technology use. An adult who was born and raised in America may have a different experience with voice assistant technology than an immigrant with English as their second language. These sessions will capture how participants' interactions, frustrations, and expectations with VA systems change over time. Insights from these interviews will guide participatory design workshops where older adults will collaboratively create interface features such as clearer system feedback and more flexible language input. Ideas generated in these sessions will be translated into a prototype that supports customization across speech, visual, and interaction settings. Through iterative testing, we will evaluate how well these adaptive features reduce cognitive strain and improve trust and engagement. Our expected outcomes are reduce user frustration by dynamically adjusting system feedback, pace, and tone to better match users' communication styles, improve long-term engagement through personalized interaction pathways, promote equity by centering disabled older adults in the tech development process as co-designers, not just testers. Foster inclusivity by treating older adults as a diverse group with intersecting identities rather than a single homogeneous population. That was our presentation. Thank you so much for listening.